Micah Bournes, as an artist, first, before I was an artist, I was a fan. I grew up as a hip-hop head. I would memorize lyrics just because I loved him. And yeah, for me, I'm an experimenter. If I see something that catches my interest, I'm like, I'll try that. So that's how I started writing hip-hop, and that's also how I started writing spoken word poetry. My parents were very devout Christians, and it was something that I grew up with and grew up around, but I never really doubted it, just like you don't doubt anything else that your parents teach you at first. You just, what they say is the truth. But as I got older in high school and stuff, and just started seeing other folks who were living in ways that were different from what I had been taught was the truth, and it started to become evident. I saw how they lived, and I saw what was happening because of that, and I said, man, these things that my parents have taught me, they seem to be real. I started writing hip-hop my freshman year of college. My homie Abraham Attilas had a bootleg set up in his room. He had a snowball mic, and we was hanging blankets and sheets to try to make it soundproof. And he just said, hey man, I got some recording software, let's write some songs. So I didn't know what I was doing, but I said, sure, I'll pick up a pen. And so I started writing after all them years of being a fan. And it was just a hobby at first, but then it just grew and grew into something more. I set out to give an accurate reflection of my life and my experience as a human and as a Christian. And so I would hope that when you listen to the body of work that I've put out, that you wouldn't only get a one-dimensional, wouldn't only hear about my faith, or wouldn't only hear about my culture, or but you would say, hey, I understand who this person is as I'm struggling through all the things, and as I'm having victories and failures in life. My junior year of college, I was diagnosed with a condition called ulcerative colitis, and it's complicated and gross, but yeah, it has slowed me down a lot. It affects my colon primarily, and I have a lot of internal bleeding and all kind of dietary restrictions. But as frustrating as it is, I'm really glad for the way it has shifted my thinking about my life and my goals. It put me face to face with my own mortality, and it also caused me to value my life more. And it's been something that at first I was ashamed about, but now, having been honest about it, I talk about it, I've written a poem about it, and it's been like the suicide thing, where you realize, man, a lot of people are struggling with health issues that they really need some encouragement on believing God is good and God is a healer, and yet having chronic, persistent illness it's rattled my faith, and so it's been a growing experience. Oh man, my poem, Normal Hair, I would say that's probably my most known poem. And to me, I appreciate it because it just goes to show that inspiration comes from anywhere. It literally is about a bottle of shampoo. Well, at least that was the starting point. And the poem is just basically challenging our ideas of normal. Like, how can anything or anyone be labeled normal? Let alone a product or a product for a hair texture, right? And so I kind of use that as a platform to talk about human diversity as something that should be celebrated instead of we all trying to assimilate into whatever our cultural idea of normal is. My name is Micah Bournes from Long Beach, California, and you are watching an artist profile on Jam the Hype.